Hello students, welcome to EPG Patasala. I am Dr. K.R. Ram Mohan, Associate Professor, Head Department of Anthropology, Sikkim University. Today we are going to talk a module on feminism in anthropology. This module is from the paper Theories and Methods in Social and Cultural Anthropology. So before we go to this module, let us see what are the learning objectives. To able to define the concept and the characteristics of feminism in anthropology, to probe into the emergence of feminist anthropology, to determine the identity of impact of feminist theory on mainstream disciplinary development of anthropology, to able to define the major contemporary anthropological theories which analyzes the status of women and men in society. So in the past several years, feminist anthropologists who take much theoretical orientations towards feminism, feministic understanding and feministic research methods into anthropological ethnographic works are considered to be as feminist anthropologists. Sociologists and social historians have produced a lot of literature on women's issues, or what we call women's studies. So all the contribution from the research work, particularly on women in all the societies, are both feminist and anti-feminist, is a long rumination on the question of what is the nature and the genesis of women's oppression and the overall social subordination in most of the societies in the world. Why women were oppressed as a class, as a gender, and what is this social subordination, though women contribute immensely to the overall aspects of the society. So these scholars were interested to see women as a class, women as a group, and their oppression and their social status. This question is not a trivial one. It requires a lot of understanding. As whether this is realistic to hope for a sexually egalitarian society. The biggest question confront us: is there any society, or what makes a society sexually egalitarian? That there is no distinction between men and women. Both are equal, despite there is some biological variations and physical incapabilities. What it makes to be a completely sexually egalitarian society? We all know that women are the backbone of wide range of social activities in any part of the society, like it could be rural or urban. And the question is that how can we improve their living conditions, the student movements, feminist activity and movements for human rights, land reclamations, and many issues which confront this whole anthropological investigation. Feminist anthropology as a critique to the mainstream anthropology or understanding of the society from a gender perspective first came into scene only about fairly recently, particularly in the mid-1970s, and slowly it got attention by many scholars, and some are scholar activists, which they want to formulate some strategies for long-term persisting social injustice meted towards women. So feminist anthropology is not a simple way of or investigation about only the inequality of women, but it has lot of methodological understanding, and it has taken the four-field approach of anthropology, name it archaeology, biology, cultural, and even linguistic, and try to seek to reduce the male bias in research findings and research understandings and the anthropological hiring practice, where the whole production of knowledge about the society. The basic question is, by the feminist anthropological scholars, is that the entire anthropological knowledge, entire anthropological literature, entire anthropological understanding has been produced by male ethnographers. So if male ethnographers have produced, to what extent the report of women's issues is correct? In what way they have correctly recorded women's lived experiences? So the whole field of feminist anthropology is a reaction towards, otherwise called the perceived androcentric bias, male-centric production of knowledge, which they call it as bias. So before we go broadly into the feminist scholars or feminism in anthropology or feminist anthropology, let us understand the basic terms of feminism and feminist, which long ago appeared in France and even in Netherlands and Great Britain. So there are other related words like women's rights, which also closely related to a feminist understanding. So according to Janet Richards, the essence of feminism as a strong fundamental case intended to mean only that there are excellent reasons for thinking that women suffer from systematic social injustice because of their sex. The proposition is to be regarded as constituting feminism. So what we understand by this definition? So it is understood that women as a social class, women